Hi everyone, I'm here with your weekly Tarotscope / Astro report for the week. I thought I would I've been making two videos for a while, one where it's just the astrology for the week and one where it's like the Tarotscopes for the week. And I thought I would do something a little different and kind of try to combine the two so you kind of get a full picture of what's going on astrologically as well as what's going on with your particular sign for the week. So I am using the Tarot of the Vampires here, as well as the Halloween Oracle for the month of October. This is what I'm using in my daily draws on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, sorry, there's like a piece of hair that keeps going in my face. There we go. So if you want to follow me on Instagram to get those, you certainly can as well. And as a reminder, on my shop this month, I'm featuring past life readings as well as the new Rockstar reading. So if you want to go and get one of those readings for yourself or any other reading, please click on the link below to the Etsy shop. Otherwise, let's get started. So I thought I would start with kind of what's going on astrologically for the week before we get into the Tarotscopes. So we have a new moon today on Monday, October 8th. This is a new moon in Libra, so both the sun and the moon are conjunct and they're in Libra. It's a really good time for setting intentions. You've probably got from today until about Wednesday to set some intentions for yourself, some goals for yourself. This new moon is conjunct Ceres, meaning that they're together. Ceres is the planet, or pardon me, the asteroid that is in charge of mothering and nurturing. So it's very mothering, nurturing kind of time, but it also brings up issues around mothering and motherhood, particularly because we have a square with Pluto. So there's a lot of issues of like power dynamics and issues around the abuse of power and the abuse of power in things like women's rights, the environment, food, nutrition, that kind of thing. So expect some of those issues to come up around this time. As for the moons, the way they are this week, we start with the moon in Libra, which makes us kind of conciliatory. And then we go into, on Tuesday, we have a void moon at 3:50 a.m. Void moons are times when there are, you just have to go with the flow. Don't start anything new. Then at the end of the day at 11:09 p.m., and these are all in Central Time, the moon goes into Scorpio. And so that's when people get a little more intense. So they're a little more go with the flow at the beginning of the week, but Tuesday evening into Wednesday, people are going to be a little more intense, a little more emotional. What else do we have? Oh, I should not skip past Monday. I talked about the new moon and the conjunction. Okay, we're good for Monday. Tuesday, we have a void moon, and then we have the moon moving into Scorpio late at the day, or depending what time zone you're in, it might be early on Wednesday. Mercury moves signs on Tuesday. Mercury moves into the sign of Scorpio. I'm going to get my handy little cards here. So it's not just the way that we're feeling, but also the way that we're communicating is going to change this week. Scorpio tends to be a deep kind of sign, an intense sign, and so Mercury in Scorpio, it's interesting, the card here says extremism. Now, maybe this card is a little extreme, as the title is. It doesn't mean that if you have Mercury in Scorpio, or because the Mercury is Mercury into Scorpio, everyone's going to be over the top or something like that. What it does do is, though, it tends to polarize people, and you might get things that are people communicating in a more emotional way, a more intense way. But it's a really good time to have deep conversations. It's not a good time for being fluffy or, just surface kind of conversations or chit-chat. This is when people really are getting down to kind of the deeper issues. So you can really use that energy in a positive way. It doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be fights or anything like that. It just means that things are going to be a lot deeper. So make sure that you're having meaningful conversations with people, but also take the time to listen to others as well. So that is Tuesday. Wednesday, moon is in Scorpio all day. Mercury is opposite Uranus that day. So this is a day where we may hear some surprising things. We also are probably like easily irritated that day. So watch for Wednesday to kind of be like an intense day. Don't be surprised if you hear something that kind of throws you off a little bit, especially if either of those planets is strong in your chart. We also have Venus squaring Mars that day. So that can be positive or negative depending how we deal with it. It can bring lots of like sexual energy and romantic energy into our life. It can make us, more intense in those areas in a positive way, but it can also cause conflicts with those of the opposite gender. It can also cause competition. So make sure you're using those intense energies on Wednesday in a really good way, instead of in a way that is somewhat conflicting. So just a heads up about Wednesday. Thursday we have a void moon at 6:12 p.m. So again, the moon is in Scorpio most of the day, but then the evening things kind of calm down. The sun has a square with Pluto, so there may be some conflicting plans. So just, plan ahead on Thursday. Make sure you're double checking things because there may be conflicts that come up on that day. Friday, the moon moves into Sagittarius at 4:53 a.m. And Sagittarius is a more easygoing sign. So we kind of leave behind the intensity of Wednesday and the confusion of Thursday. Friday, things are a little more easygoing. We want to have fun. We want to get out there and do some fun things. We're not taking things too seriously. Mercury has a sextile with Saturn on that day. So that's a good day it is a good day for planning and organizing things. Thursday's not the day to do it, but Friday is. It's a good day to kind of like organize things, to get together with people, to plan things. That's Friday. Saturday we have a void moon at 7:58 p.m. So Saturday is an easygoing day too. Most of the day moon's in Sagittarius. Then we have a void moon where, just relax. Don't do anything new. Don't do anything crazy. Sunday the moon moves into Capricorn at 2:17 p.m. So Sunday we kind of get down to work. If there's any chores to do on Sunday or things we have to get done, Sunday is the day to do it. And there's no other big aspects that are going on. We do have the asteroid Juno going retrograde on Friday. Juno rules partnerships, so expect that any old issues in regards to partnerships might come up, might reappear. We might be reevaluating some of the changes that we've made in our partnerships over the past few months. Not necessarily negative, it just means that we're going to be reevaluating things or reorganizing things on a certain level. So overall, this week is going to be fairly calm with maybe the exception of Wednesday being the most intense day. And Thursday, there may be conflicting plans. Things may not work out quite the way we expected. But it looks like it's a pretty easygoing Monday, Tuesday, and an easygoing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, that's kind of, we've got the new moon. That's the big headline of the week. And then we've also got Mercury changing signs on Tuesday as well. So it kind of changes the energy around communication. So that's what I'm seeing astrologically for the week. For each of the signs, let's get into the cards. We always start with Aries. Aries, you have the Ace of Skulls reversed. So for you, this is not a great time to start a new venture with anything to do with like home or business or money. It's not saying that it won't happen. It's just saying now's not the time to start it. Which isn't surprising considering the astrology this week. So it's saying to wait, to hold on. Now is not the time. For Taurus, we have the Eight of Scepters reversed. So there may be some miscommunications this week, Taurus. We've got a Venus retrograde. Venus rules your sign. And so it's not surprising there might be some communication mishaps. It also could be that you're also running around super busy right now. You just feel like you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. And this card is asking you to slow down. Not everything is urgent, to just do your best and try to get done what you can get done. For Gemini, we have the Four of Skulls. So Gemini, you've got a lot on your plate this week, but you're handling it. But you don't have a lot of room to take on new things. So it's saying to guard what you have. But if you want to take on new things, you're going to have to take something off. You're going to have to make some room for it because you've just got a really full plate this week. For Cancer, we have the Daughter of Skulls reversed. So Cancer, you're probably feeling a bit overwhelmed right now. And also you just feel like you kind of just don't really want to do anything. You're feeling a little bit like you want to just sit at home with a cup of coffee or hot chocolate and wrap yourself in a blanket and not do anything. And you're feeling just kind of a little overwhelmed. It's saying that this isn't really the answer. Maybe slow down with what you're doing, but don't stop. You got to do some self-care too, it says, but you also got to, keep going and keep going towards your goals. For Leo, we have Temperance. Leos, it's a week where you're finding a little more balance. You're feeling a little more patient with people, maybe feeling a little more emotionally balanced than maybe you have been. It's also a week where you feel like you were kind of getting messages from the other side. So pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to spirit messages around you. For Virgo, we have the Five of Knives. So Virgo, there's some fights you just can't win, and especially with kind of the intense Scorpio energy that's going on right now, with Mercury changing signs, and Mercury does rule your particular sign. There might be times where you have to kind of walk away from things. There isn't really a way to win. You just have to walk away and protect yourself the best that you can. And so it's saying, like, you don't have to fight every fight is basically what this means. For Libra, we have the Three of Scepters. Libra, you're going to get a pat on the back this week. People are going to acknowledge what you're doing. You're going to get that little, like, hey, you're doing awesome, you're doing great. Other people appreciate it. This might be a promotion. This might be a bonus. This might be just other people saying thank you for all the hard work that you've been doing. So give yourself a pat on the back this week. For Scorpio, we have the Prince of Skulls reversed. Scorpio, you're one also just like Cancer who's just feeling really unenergized and really drained, and not really wanting to do anything, and it's saying it's okay to rest. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to take a bit of a breather before you start going again. Don't totally give up, but take a break before you start going again. For Sagittarius, we have the Ten of Skulls reversed. Sagittarius, you feel a bit stuck in a rut, like you've been doing the same thing for a long time, and you're not really sure if you should keep going with it. You feel like almost like it's expected of you, but you're not really sure if you want to keep doing it. So this is a week to reevaluate it. I wouldn't say it's a week to change course, but it is a week to reevaluate. Like, what are you just doing because you've always done it, and what are you doing because you truly want to do it? For Capricorn, we have the Fool reversed. So Capricorn, this is not the week to take a big leap. Much like with Aries, it's saying this is not the week to take chances. It's not that you won't be able to make a change, but this isn't the week to do it. It just won't work out quite right. So, just take that into account. There's going to be a better time, a better opportunity for you coming up soon. For Aquarius, we have the Eight of Grails. So Aquarius, you're kind of feeling like you need to walk away from things emotionally. There's something that you're walking away from, something that you're like, this doesn't serve me anymore. It could be a job, it could be a person, it could be just a thing that you've been doing, a hobby that just doesn't fulfill you anymore. But there's something that you're emotionally just kind of walking away from at this point. And that can be a good thing. Sometimes things, come to an end for a reason. And Pisces, we have the Seven of Grails. Pisces, you're not sure what you want. You don't know. This is really not a week for people to make any big choices. It says that everything looks good to you right now, and you're just not sure what it is that you should choose, and that's okay. It's not a time to make those choices. It might be a time to think about those choices, but not necessarily to make them. Listen to your gut on this too, because your gut kind of knows what it is that you need to do, and pay attention to your dreams. I always tell this when this card comes up. And for our oracle card for the week, we have the Witch. I've got this one come up a couple of times for myself. The Earthly Weaver of the Worlds. So this is not a week for most signs, I think, to take action. This is a week of assessment. We have a new moon that's here, so it is a good time to set some intentions, but not necessarily to take action on them. And remember that, just like with witchcraft, sometimes we have to set the intention first and let things kind of come into play before we can take action on them. But it does say that even our thoughts and our words are, affecting things on a certain level. So we need to make sure that we are setting those clear intentions for ourselves. And if we don't know what we want, taking that time to step back and think about what it is that we truly want before we set those intentions out there. So that's what I'm seeing for this week. Let me know if you like this format of kind of putting the astrology and the cards together. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Put your comments below. Thank you. Peace, love,